In 86, the devil raised the bar, but I'm a hurdler. And I'm the good thief. I sneak in your toxic house, the burglar. The musical Merkaba came to set free the Lucifer worshippers. Like James Bond 007, the soul of an old legend. Negative energy murderer. Good or evil, angel or demon interpreter. Keys with frankincense and myrrh. And perfumes anoint me soon as my birth occur. Like Ben-Hur, I'm indigenous to Gilgamesh. With brilliantness became the builders of the pyramids. Now we lost in American North wilderness. I became the force, a poor man's ventriloquist. On the island far away from home like Gilligan. Took us from our villages till we find our way back through resilience and our diligence. Through rags and wave caps, black fists look militant. And college remembrance, while living ignorance. Driving kids with innocence, dreams fly limitless. Straight towards the nebula, with cannon or the terror. Black boys face, we all in this together. I chase demons in my cape, my sword and my scepter. His brother Glow the Great, the lord of this era. Royal priesthood, gold plates and treasures. Anubis, my eye, wear your heart against the feather. Carted Satan out your soul, lifting him out, he's on a stretcher. With my divine helicopter, with shocking propellers, outlines made of copper. The fortune teller, my dragon glows green like matcha. New York regalia, like Robin Walker is the prophet Walter. From the days of Iron Sheik versus Sergeant Slaughter. Blue around my garment borders. Fringes, execute vengeance. Mathematics, Qurans and Taurus. Rock the head of Horus. Rocks in the watch is gorgeous. Behind my will, it fell into the wheel. Metamorphing. Start spinning clockwise and counterclockwise. On the outside, my car became a flying saucer. Straight through the orbit. Use my mind. Lose my mind. I will. Use my mind.
Yo, masquerade killer, Michael hijacked the sun, matinee thriller. Zombie apocalypse, a center for disease, says my tracks are way iller. Isodrenochrome cubes keep they cabernet chiller. And thought is thought, they don't want you to think. Knowledge is power, shock the flowers, make my aura look pink. To know the ledge, godly hour, push your thoughts to the brink. You can't even close your eyes, become a corpse if you blink. Where the oracles sink, I was born in the Sphinx. Copper DNA necklace with historical links. Hiding poison in the food, in the water you drink. Cause they raised done and they just biding their time. Thought food, the lost tube coming down on my mind. Stab you with a light ray cause you was dying to shine. Then I disappeared like a truth post in your IG. Holy Spirit dripping like a ghost in your IV. Can't deport them all, we was already here. So get in tune with the voices in the water right here. You don't see the embryo in the form of your ear. Invisible man, I made myself awfully clear. Royal priesthood, astrologers is Lord of the Spears. Throwing platinum plates, you thought the flying saucers appeared. Yeah, they scared to wear their own face in the street. Deep elixirs, beast addicted to the taste of the sheep. On Harry Potter's wheel, the god knew arrange my physique. Kai, Elohim, hemoglobin, the Arabian chic. 7 circles like the planets in the days of the week. Supreme math, solar facts in the language I speak. You brainwashed if you watching the news. Never make the wrong step when the laws in my shoes. The dream weaver make it seem there's no option to choose. Corona dope fiends, they be trying to nod. They in line to get shot, that's a fireman squad. Pharmaceuticals, shoot to kill line with the gods. I cried for the angel babies that have died in the fog. Caught up in the crossfire, like a panther in a Klan rally. Zodiac, they need these answers in my hands badly. Like palm readers, break dancers in the sand valley. I moonwalked on chemtrails in the sky. On the path to ancient Kemet, weigh the scales in my eyes. The sun and moon temple sitting on the side of my head. A million years I still remember every line that I said. Hermes Trismegistus, serve me the statistics. 99 attributes of Allah, 99% survival rate. Imagine the odds when you're the Neo, you're the one that made the patterns evolve. Another chapter to solve, why did Saturn revolve? Spinal column, I am Amen, climb the ladder to Oz. On a rocket to Nebula, the planet of the gods.
Use my mind.
shapes in the box. Tetragrammaton, Tetris, see my face in the watch. Circle of life displayed in an arrangement of clocks. You can't be so diplomatic when you're breaking the locks. God Zodiac, Killer Priest, Wrong Priest.
All right, peace and black power family. Welcome to another episode of Knowledge Radio, place where knowledge is born. This is your host, Knowledge Born Allah. We're here to celebrate Black excellence, and we got a guest that personifies Black excellence. One who walks in it, one who talks in it. You understand what I'm saying? On the transition day of Hajj Malik al-Shabazz, brother widely affectionately known to the world as Minister Malcolm X, and on the born day of Nina Simone, we also have one who personifies the strength and power and the charisma in the wise dome of Malcolm X and the creativity and brilliance of Nina Simone. So it's very befitting that we have one from amongst us to come before us today on this Black Excellence series here on Do Knowledge Radio. No stranger to the platform, but as always, a warm welcome when the true and living get together and add on. So it becomes my honor and privilege at this time to introduce some, present to others. One who has dedicated 4 decades of his life to bringing us the truth, whether it was uncomfortable for us or not, whether we need some adjustment or not, still true and living, still making knowledge more than no living at time. Our brother, Lord Jamar, a brand new being, and you're not a mean God Cash. Peace to the God.
Peace. I got my own sound effects.
Hey, I love it. I love it, God. Love it.
What's good, bro?
You, Lord.
How you, God?
I be all wise and civilized. Deliver truth by the 10%.
Oh man, that video. First of all, that video was great. With Killer Priest, and what's the God's name? What's the God? The other God?
Zodiac.
Zodiac. Yo, that was dope. They was definitely dropping it. I loved it.
Word. You and elders like yourself came through and gave us the keys and made it not only okay, but made it cool to use our mind. You understand?
Right.
Like, and give us the God science behind the mind in the first place to actualize it. So, it's all in synchronicity for what we got going on today, where it's cool to not use your mind. You understand what I'm saying?
True indeed.
All right. How you feeling, Lord?
Yeah, I'm great, God. I'm great.
Word. So, 4 decades, you know what I'm saying? 4 decades here on your grind, doing what you got to do. And if you was to look back in the alteration space, how much of you has been refined throughout that process of living this culture?
How much of me has been refined?
Yeah.
I mean, much has been refined. You know what I mean?
Because some guys say they ain't no refinement in their math. You understand? So
I wasn't one of those. When the way I received the math, it was culture freedom, power refinement. You know what I mean? Like y'all can go ahead and argue about, you know what I mean? Well, the original, I don't, things, we add on, right? We add on to the cipher. Things get added on. And this is a culture that does free the dome. Power does refine one. You know what I mean? The truth does cleanse the mind, mentally and physically. That's what power does. You know what I mean? So I think those things go hand in hand. This culture should go hand in hand with freedom, and power should go hand in hand with refinement. That's just how I, was taught it. Peace to true King Allah. Anyway, so yeah, over time, we came into this real filthy in the mind. You know what I mean? Real filthy and just filled with the dirt of the devil's civilization and his indoctrination of many different facets of life, you know? And so, you know, you take off one chain, but that don't mean that you free. You know, there's a lot of different chains that the devil attaches that as you go on, you realize, oh shit, I have a chain here. Let me detach that. You know, that was a nutrition chain over here, or here's another chain that, you know what I mean? So as time goes on, and each time you remove a chain, that's a process of refinement. You see what I'm saying? So,
Indeed.
you know, I have more chains removed now as someone who's 54 than chains that I had removed when I was 21. So of course I'm more refined, and I have more, and more experience gives you more discernment. So over time you get more experience, and you know that creates refinement as well.
Indeed. Indeed. So to stay in that pocket for a moment, when you first picked up your pen to write versus now, what stories did you want to tell then versus what kind of stories are you telling now?
When I first picked up my pen to write, I don't know if it was about telling stories. I first picked up my pen to write for other people, kind of. You know, I was the DJ for a crew, you know what I mean, that used to do routines and shit like that, like in that era. So I started like helping writing routines and shit like that, you know what I mean? Taking a popular song and taking the melody and rewriting it. So I don't know if it was a story other than just, you know, we some dope MCs type of shit, like check us out. You know, we fly, the ladies like us type of shit. But as I became an MC, you know, because I got knowledge early, you know, and it was hip hop that kind of brought me to the knowledge, because my enlightener was into hip hop, and we kind of connected through hip hop first. And yeah, things escalated from there. So once I got the knowledge, you know, formally, yeah, now I'm by this time I'm more of an MC, and I already know that I want to infuse this knowledge in the raps, because I was influenced by the Supreme Team. You know, shout out to C Divine, the Mastermind, Just Allah, the Superstar, you know, Supreme Team, WHBI, and all that. They the ones that planted the seed of how you can infuse this knowledge without somebody even really knowing that they learning something. You know what I mean? You could plant the seed and then it grows later. You know, because once I received the math from True King, you know, I'm like, hold up, knowledge is the foundation, the wisdom is the way. This is the song that Supreme Team was singing. You know what I mean? The understanding. I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? And right there, it was like, boom. Oh, that's crazy. Like, yo, they told me some shit. And I didn't even realize. I was like, yo, that's something I want to do. So just from early, I was like, and I was noticing that a lot of people wasn't really doing that. You know what I mean? Then, coincidentally, shortly after that, like, boom, Rakim comes on the scene. And that's my word. Like, people around my way was asking me, was that me? because I'm the only one that they knew that was ever really like, you know what I mean? Talking that God talk on the mic type of shit. Like, and you know, yeah, and they was like, damn, is that you, God? I was like, I wish that was me. That shit is retarded. Like, you know what I mean? That shit is crazy. I wish that was me. But yeah, I feel like basically once I really started emceeing, the focus has always been the same, you know, from beginning to now, you know, and that's just trying to, you know, trying to infuse this God knowledge, trying to give people something that they can use, that can be useful in their life. You know what I mean? In conjunction with making good music, you know, making something that's dope, that hip hop fans would appreciate.
So you just had like an albumversary recently. I think it was on the 2nd, I recall.
That's I think it was the 4th. Was it the 2nd? Maybe it was February 2nd. 2nd.
Yeah, I think I had the date wrong, and
right.
And I hit you, and then you was like, "Nah, God, the math wrong." You
right.
So I think it was the 2nd, and I don't know if you did the show on the 4th.
Yeah, maybe that was it. Something like that.
Might have did it the same day, something like that.
Yeah, 30th anniversary of In God We Trust. You know, yeah, let's clap it up for that.
A pivotal orientation in my young development, and many people who had got sparked in that season from one way or another. So between, as you stated, Rakim and a host of others, but more so with an actionable, militant type of feel with it is something that y'all provided additionally. Like it was still slick, it was still cool, it was fly, but it was cats was in the car. Like you see cats off in the corner, like, okay, boom, boom, boom. And for people who had knowledge, given creative license to now be better ambassadors. This is what I was talking about. This is this. This is that. This is this.
Give you more pride. That's what I wanted to do too. Like give the gods and earths pride. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's what exactly. That's what we was talking about. That's what I was talking about. You see what he's saying? That's what I was talking about.
Right. So it made a lot of sense in our neighborhoods to be able to draw that up in the fine mist of what's neck and alcoholic.tech. So very palatable, you know, 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you did an ad on your platform about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just asking, you know, for the sights and the sounds, like, how does it feel? Something that you crafted in your mind 3 decades ago or longer to come into fruition and still be something cats is running up on you like, yo, step up and get beat down. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like,
yo, it's crazy. And people are just getting up on it. Like, I know this young boy and shit, you know, I be online sometimes playing the fucking shooting game and shit. I had this young boy that I was playing with, he ain't know who I was. So somehow it came out who I was and he researched me and shit like that. And then he come on, you know, he come online the next day and he's like, punks jump up to get beat down and he's dunked to let it go up to your head. Like, and these are the joints that he instinctively, when he did his research, these are the joints that he likes, like right now. And this is a kid that's like 23 or 24, some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm just like, yeah, the shit is wow. It feels great. You know, because there's a lot of people that came in this game that we don't even remember, you know, and they did all right. Like, you know, some of them did all right. Like they had a nice little song or some shit like that. But you know what I mean? They not around no more and shit like that. So to still be spoken of and thought of and be able to do shows still to the, and hear your music in certain venues to this day. It's great, but at the same time, is what we intended to do. Because I'm telling you, we intended to make classic music. Like, we were striving to make classic music. Like, we didn't want to be no flash in the pan type of. I looked up to the Run DMCs and the, you know what I mean? The LLs and the Public Enemies and the EPMDs, and you know what I mean? Even the De La Souls, and that was contemporary to our shit. Rest in peace, Trugoy. Yeah. These are people we looked up to and felt like, yo, we want to do shit like how they doing it, like to that level where, you know what I mean?
Definitely. I dubbed something the Lord Jamar-ism, okay? Because I love when you get people uncomfortable and shit. I just gotta be honest. I got like a little notepad in there where I take my little notes where I be like, yeah, he gonna fuck some people's heads up with this one. Their feelings gonna be hurt with this one. So could I play this little clip for you of you speaking about guesting hip hop and kind of get your thoughts on it?
Listen, I don't really want to retread this shit again, bro. Seriously, like, it's been milked too many times, bro. I'm sorry, but no, don't play it. You know what I mean? I don't want to go over it and over it. It's been spoken enough. There's nothing else to say about it. We know I was right. There's nothing to say. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I've explained it. Right. You know what I mean? That's that. I know we need the headlines and all that, but I'm not talking about this shit no more. I'm tired of it. Like, I'm tired of it. I don't need it. I agree with you. You know what I mean?
I just know it's a bunch of stuff circulating around because it's 50 years of hip hop, and
yeah, we can talk about the 50 years of hip hop and all of that. What about it?
So you was about to say something?
No, I was gonna say 50 years of hip hop. Go ahead, talk about that. You know what I mean?
So if we look back at 50 years and we was to look forward 50 years, where would you like to see the culture progress to? Artists, things like that, music, production. If you had your hat on as a visionary, because there's a lot of people that you gave us that we didn't know. Like, you discovered a bunch of people and gave them to us in hip hop. So trust in your guys and your visionary spirit, to speak to that.
I mean, 50 years, I would hope that, we as Black people got our shit together and kind of separated from this whole society, because this shit is going crazy right now. Like, this is not going in a direction that's going to be sustainable for us as righteous men and women, and children. They're definitely trying to force us to accept all kind of shit that we don't fuck with. You know what I mean? So fuck all this, like, worrying about record companies and shit. Like, we need to be worrying about having our own like countries or some shit like that, our own state at the very least. Like the original shit that kind of the Nation of Islam was talking about, as far as getting their own area within the United States, and just, you know what I mean? Leave us be, man. We be a sovereign in our own area, and your laws out there. Y'all want us do what you do out there, you do that. But we in here, none of that shit goes on with y'all trying to force in the world. You know what I mean? Like, that's what type of shit I want to see in 50 years. You know what I mean? Really, I want to see beyond that, to where, we got control of our destiny totally. We got this country back. Motherfuckers realize that we not all from Africa and all this shit that they got us believing and shit. And even the thing, I was just thinking about this, how it says in the lessons that this is the wilderness of North America. Like, you know, they try to shit on North America. Like, they really try to throw us off from what this really is. You know, many people say this is the land of the Bible. Ooh. And that shit over there is some shit that they tell you, but they got pyramids and all kind of shit over here that they don't want to tell you about. You know what I mean? They say even more pyramids here in North America than there are over there in Africa.
I got a Lord Jamar Ism anyway, okay? You know what I'm saying? We got one of those stirrers to stir your mind up, get you to do your research and see what it is. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. Yes. More fruitful than the guest thing anyway. Yeah, I think a lot of studying and a lot of research is coming, and I think that's a beautiful thing to be kind of on the forefront, pushing the culture forward as you've always done. So pushing the mind forward, pushing the envelope, pushing the conversation forward. Stagnation leads to
research.
Death,
Don't take nothing on face value. Don't take what I'm saying on face value. Don't take nothing that, you know, certain people that you look up to. Don't take what they say on face value. I'm sorry, but you're going to have to verify what they said. Honorable people like Malcolm X and, you know what I mean? Elijah Muhammad and yes, them too. Marcus Garvey. Yes. You're going to have to not just take what I know they've been revered all this time, but we still need to research and do, you know, do the knowledge for real on what was being said. What was the origins of it? You know, it's a lot of uncomfortable history about Marcus Garvey that if you really dig and look into it, it's like, ooh, is this the guy that everybody they portray him to be in the Black community? You said you wanted to get uncomfortable, right?
Hey, it wouldn't be you. You understand? I would think like a clone jumped in on the computer and was masquerading as you. You didn't push.
Yeah, right.
Word. I love it. You see, I love it, and I think, you know, in the space of heroism, we never really got to meet nobody. We got something from somebody we trusted, and we just kept it, or somebody we feared, and we just kept it. You know, so it is time now to be able to do the knowledge in the space. Like, you're not operating in the space of the rest. And the whole video we watched was for not. You see what I'm saying? Like, free your mind. Like, use your mind. Like, you see what I'm saying? So that kind of what such and such said, such and such said, such and such said. Our youth not going for none of that.
Like, there's a lot of trust in. Like, think about the Bible, right, and the Quran and all that, right? Those books are translated.
Right.
Who translated them? And how do we know that we can trust that they're telling us the proper translation?
Right.
Who are these? You don't know. None of us know these so-called translators. We don't know their moral character. We don't know where they grew up, what their backgrounds are, what their intentions might be. It just says translated into English. By whom? And why? But we have people who, you know, will use these translations and act like this is the word. This is the word of God. Are you sure? You see? A lot of trust in the untrustworthy. We trust the untrustworthy. We trust them for all kind of shit. science, fucking history, you know. We trust them for shit that we shouldn't trust them with. Healthcare.
Right.
Like, we really trust our enemy when we go in these hospitals. We're really trusting that they're gonna fucking do what they're supposed to do and like save your life. But there's no law that says a doctor has to save you, like that they have to treat you. They talk about a Hippocratic oath where they won't do no harm and all this type of shit. I listen to the name Hippocratic. Why does it sound so close to hypocritic? You know what I mean? Right. Why is the words almost interchangeable? And what is a hypocrite? Somebody that says they're going to do something, but they don't really do it. But they're not really about that. Or, you know, they say they don't do something, but then they really do it. You know what I mean? That's what a hypocrite is. You say you don't hurt people, but you really hurt people.
In the space of surrendering your will, surrendering your mind. You know, with the white coat, you know, they raise the white flag and say we surrender. Like, you see that, and automatically you in a calm space. Like, all of your intellect goes out the window. All of your, you know, everything.
Well, it's funny because, you know, the priests and shit used to wear all black, right? Right. But now the scientists wear all white. Mm-hmm. That some shit. And the minute they would put on those black robes, it would be something different about them that, you know, that seemed different than the average person. The same way when these motherfuckers put on a lab coat, they seem like different. They seem different than the average human. You see? Because science is the new religion for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. Those are your new priests. Those are the ones that you trust. That's why they can tell you anything and you'll fucking believe it. Climate change, all kind of bullshit they telling you. Just put a fucking lab coat on and tell it to you and y'all motherfuckers gonna believe it. That's not black excellence, people. That's black ignorance.
So black excellence, since you're there, you know, you're a standard bearer. So what are some aspects in regards to black excellence that we should strive for and actualize, not just in the philosophical sense?
I mean, truly thinking and doing for self, you know, that's real black excellence, you know, leading and not following. That's black excellence, you know. We the mothers and fathers of civilization. How did we do that? That means civilization followed us, what we were teaching them. We were at the forefront of technology and science and art and mathematics and architecture and, you know what I mean? All of that. We got to get back to that. But it's hard when these motherfuckers try to put a stumbling block, you know. Every time you take a step, they're trying to, you know what I mean? Put something there for you to stumble. But we greater than them. They will never overcome us. You know, God will always be stronger than the devil. So have solace in that. Truth will always overcome falsehood.
So performing. I think we're trying right now. You hear me, Lord?
Yeah, hey, okay, yeah, now you're back. Your camera was stuck for a second.
Okay, yeah. I seen some footage of you in the fan performing at the Happy Joint. You know what I'm saying? Like, how does it feel to be back on stage, with the fam, with your brothers, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, never left
Yeah,
stage. We always been on stage, like, that was the first joint for the year, I guess. So that was good. That felt nice. It was a nice event and all that. But it's always great to get on stage and get that immediate feedback, get that energy from the crowd, take people on that time machine, put them in that time machine and play those joints from when they was younger and make them feel a certain feeling that they haven't felt in a minute,
Right. Well, Rakim say they ain't heard that original in a while.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now for the Godcast is on what, year 4 now? 4 or 5?
4 or 5, maybe going on 5. Maybe this is 5. Yeah. Yeah.
The progression in that story, truth telling through very uncomfortable, questionable time, a lot of fear mongering and all kind of shit that have been going on before the pandemic situation, just in regular, how do you see, the journey of the Godcast from then to now, and then going forward, what's some things that you can share with us to look forward to coming from the Godcast?
I mean, it's definitely been a nice steady progression. It's a learning experience all along the way. It's an experience of working with people and pulling together your resources and all of that. It's definitely like a almost a labor of love for the people. You know what I mean? Because it's not like we getting rich off the shit. But I feel like, certain voices just need to be heard, man. Like, they want to silence a certain segment of our community. And, that's because they don't want the youth to connect with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that a certain, generation has, certain cipher of us has. They don't want those ciphers to connect with each other, so they try to keep them separate, We need to get that shit intertwined like that infinity loop so that we can really grow as a people, because these motherfuckers keep having to learn shit over and over again, the same, when if they just would, build with the older gods, you know what I mean? And stop having to feel like, well, I got to learn it for myself, And finally, like, nah, the God told me, don't do, he went through that. Now he's telling me this so that I don't have to go through that. And he's telling me what I should do. I'm going to listen. You know what I mean? But they try to now set up a situation where these seeds, especially if they feel like you ain't got nothing, they don't want to listen to you. Fuck you, old head. Why should I listen to you? You broke and all this type of shit. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Right. Love the devil because the devil gives you nothing. Consistently. Consistently. For real. Man. I appreciate the guests that you have on and the stories that you allow them to share. And if something needs clarification, that you give it the space to be clarified. I notice with a lot of these platforms that they start chasing certain stuff, and it's kind of irresponsible to how things flow in real life. So I appreciate the fact that things that are shared, they're still shared in a sacred manner. It's a beautiful thing to still see it. You know, that a culture can still thrive, that stories can be shared, and a space for reformation. Like I think one of the last guests you had on, he showed a space of transformation. You
Right.
know,
Luke Stephen.
and I think that's a beautiful thing as well to see, especially with the imagery that's associated and the narratives that are being pushed on Black men. You know, as a whole, that we could still see a situation like we could appreciate a Malcolm, but then we don't appreciate the brother. You see what I'm saying? In the same with the same facet, with the same tenacity. You know, they transformative stories. So I just wanted to give credence to that, and standing on your square too. It's like tough questions you asked in regards to like, yo, did you ever think about how this what you was doing was affecting that? Like, where was your mind at? Like, folks don't normally go there like that. They kind of like skid around that and then glorify the degradation.
Right. I definitely felt like that was an important thing to ask, because I feel like, especially, people in the conscious community, they, that's something that we want to know, kind of like, like, well, now when you look back, you see what the shit did to the community. How do you feel about that? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I was just thinking today, actually, earlier today, I was thinking, damn, a question what I should have asked is, knowing what you know today, would you do it all over again? Knowing what crack does to, you know what I mean? Now that's a question that I think would be very surprising. I think a lot of people would say yes. They'd say yes, everything happens for a reason, blah, 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 blah. But, yeah. Just an interesting thought.
Definitely. I would definitely love to see the response for that. And I think that's still a good question. Last year you was one of the great participants that came through and gave me, one of the most phenomenal breakdowns and a new angle to look at my research question. Does the hip hop industry owe Black people reparations? So my question for 2023 is, with all of the information that we have, and I would love your take on it, Lord, that we have, why do we still refer to ourselves in derogatory terms? The N word and the B word, 2023.
Conditioning. We're just conditioning talk like that, it's just easy, it's just easier. But at the same time, I feel like, when we say it, good or bad, I feel like it, it connects us to other people that have said it in the past. You know what I mean? People that we looked up to, like, you know what I mean? Like, well, that homeboy, from the hood or whatever, he used to say, and that was my nigga. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he used to say nigga all like, I don't know. There's just a certain thing that we've been indoctrinated with those words, yeah. But I think again, those words have power, the power that you give them. And it's, in hip hop, I feel like we made an attempt to redefined the words, and it got turned into a term of endearment and all of that, but we still don't like if a white person says it,
Right.
because they're not saying it in the same term of endearment. It's a different vibration, same word with a different vibration, depending on who's speaking it. Intention matters with everything. So yeah, I'd say that's why.
So even in the circles, that's where folks are conscious. Because when I was young, I remember many of the things in the forefront in regards to our identity was if black people knew who they were and blah blah blah. Even with all of that information, many people have done many things in spiritual development. You know, whatever the genre is that you want to put it in or frame it in. You know, they still in the space where they using the language. You understand what I'm saying? Yo, peace to the God, what's good, my? And you're like literally in the same breath, like in the same breath. Like, you see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I'm like I was building one of the gods. I'm like, God, like it's me, God. Like we gotta, is that another chain we gotta break? Or I mean, because some people don't even see it as nothing. They're like, nah, I'm saying, and then the justifications get crazy. Like, so now I got to go back through 2.5 decades, 3 decades of like, I literally been like, nah, I'm not your N word. I never been. You see what I'm saying? Like, you don't own me, you didn't buy me, you don't have no receipts. Like, what are you saying to me? Then that's too deep. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And then it's like, well, this N word don't want to be called an N word. You see what I'm saying? Like, so how is that a term of endearment for me? So I'm like, I'm literally, looking for the responses. They go back, then they go back to ancient civilization. We was calling
Yeah,
each other.
negus.
Yeah. It mean king, it mean God, and blah blah blah. Like, and I'm like, all that's fine and well until you upset with me, until you want to take my life. You're not calling me a king. You're not calling me a god. You're calling me what they was
Nigga,
calling
I'll
my
fucking
ancestors.
yeah.
Right? Yeah. You calling me what they was calling me on the plantation. Because that's what you
Right.
see.
I
Some
mean,
humans
yeah, that
don't
probably
hear.
is a chain that needs to be cut. That is a chain that needs to be cut. Changing your pronouns. That's a better pronoun. See, they got you changing these other pronouns. They got you
Right.
doing backflips for these other pronouns and shit like that.
Right.
But when it comes to these type of pronouns, y'all don't want to change them. But y'all motherfuckers is ready to call a
Right.
man a woman and a woman a man because they told you to change that shit.
Right.
So yeah, change your pronouns. Change your pronouns for the black man. You know what I mean? Um, sure, that's a chain. Absolutely.
I appreciate it. Is there anything else you wanted to touch on for we wrap? I know you only have a little bit of time. I wanted to thank you, for this
Um,
opportunity.
I want to touch on shit. Just peace to everybody out there. Um, this fake ass Black History Month shit. The New Year's is supposed to be in the spring, right? See, like,
Yes.
think about it. Why would the New Year be in January? Like, nothing new is happening. Spring is when things renew. Like, on the old calendar, the New Year was like March 1st, or some shit like that. At the beginning of spring. I think we need to get back to that type of shit. Start having our own New Year's and have that shit in spring. Because originally there was 13 months and not 12 also. Like, that's how the Mayans and all kind of the Egyptians, all kind of people counted the year. 28 days in each month. With 13 months, which brings 364 days. And then there's one extra day that will be like a holiday where nobody would do nothing on that day. And then, see, these motherfuckers got it all fucked up, the calendar and shit like that. They put Augustus Caesar for August and Julius Caesar for July and replaced shit and rearranged shit. October should be the fucking 8th month. Oct is 8. But they got it as the 10th month. September should be the 7th month, but they got it as the 9th. We don't even know what day it is. Fucking with this devil. Oh shit. You don't even know what year it is because he's trying to prolong. He knows he's got a time, an expiration date, and he's trying to fuck with it. Daylight savings time. Let's fuck with the calendar. Let's do all kind of shit to try to prolong this shit. Sorry, bud. You're out of here. Can fuck with that shit all you want. You out of here. That's right. Bruno said, you out of here. But yeah, that's it, God. Yeah, I appreciate you having me on. You know, shout out to your peoples in the comments and all that. Shay Black, Journey of Becoming Better Self, Nikki Love. Oh, Kai Zodiac. What's good, Kai Zodiac? That shit was hard, bro. Shit with you and Killer Priest. Who did the beat? You know who did the beat?
Yeah, he did the beat.
Oh, Kai Zodiac?
Yeah. He one-stop shop, man.
Ah, dope. That's what's up.
If y'all want to connect, I could see his info.
All right, where you from?
Jersey.
That's what's up.
I had to say that with pride, you know what I'm saying? There's still a couple
from
of us
Jersey?
inside from Jersey. Yeah.
That's what's up. There you go.
Word.
Well, shit, keep doing your thing, God.
You want to do the social stuff and all that, and where people can find you?
It's right under my name, right there, at Lord Jamar on all platforms. Check me out. And if you want to check out the Godcast, go to your Not a Mean Godcast on YouTube. And hit that subscription, click that notification bell, and click all. You know what to do. And I appreciate y'all.
Word. Be out, y'all. Peace to the
All right,
God.
God. Peace.
It's just different.
Yo, peace and black power. It's your brother Knowledge Allah. Do the Knowledge Radio. The place where knowledge is born.
Knowledge Radio.
This is 3K.
Think tank.
This is 3K.
Hey.
This is
Hey, I swear
3K.
that knowledge is born. It's where I swear that knowledge is born. It's where I swear that knowledge is born. It's where I swear that knowledge is born. Who ducked, who drew down, return fire. We're the warriors, the healers, enlighteners, enlighten us. I'm tired of the same old, that game old with an upgrade. I'm a sunbathe in the sun rays while my guns blaze and they complain. Devil, my level not attainable. My metal not malleable. I'm a man, didn't need that manual. Reparations is incalculable. Yeah, we want it in blood. Dead in the begging, heading to beheading. Metal to the meddling. Members is aggressive. Getting to the Armageddon. Karma, seem calmer when it comes to retribution. Caliber, catalyst in my clips and I use them on traitors and haters and the ones that spread confusion. Cause the devil's playground wasn't built for our amusement. Hey, meet me at the guard hour. Hey, in these strange days, you gon' need a strong counter. Spin like Beyblade. Impenetrable armor, Orient aura. This story, this saga, get gory before it get calmer. Keep holding that revolutionary posture. 85 gon' dip and dodger, but when they get monster, they turn into MC like earrings and become door knockers. I'm irate, they pirate the culture, send them to Davy Jones' locker. It's okay. Okay. Let them think that you lost it. Be patient, this type of thing you can't force it. Play possum, but nah, not know about the road that they can't comprehend, cause the language is coded. We plan ideas and we plan explosives. Make your pockets go from more bits to more bread. The portal done open, they can't close it. You ain't got a sideline, you could cause more risk. No set birth date, no Dorian Gray portrait. It's about to get ugly and these devils can't forfeit ancestral memories, so no, I won't forget. What we building is an impenetrable fortress for sure. Every show is just like a courtship, and my flow for sure tighter than your gal's corset. It's okay. Okay. We are the source, you can't outsource it. Even Spartans don't want no parts, Neff. What do you know? Before you know it, 3,000 wild Africans at your doorstep. Hey, meet me at the guard hour. Hey, in these strange days, you gon' need a strong counter. Spin like Beyblade. No, we will not cower while the rest they play safe. We will move with God's power. This is not for play. Honor my ancestors, play the Orient day. Peace to you, loved ones, stay dangerous and stay safe. AKAs and AKs coming to make their caves cave. Wreck the race like take case, stay dangerous and stay safe.
Yeah. Now we gonna tell them. That in front. We tell them like this, yo. I'm an African. I'm a African. I'm a African. I'm a African. Yeah, y'all like that? So no more. This man's mind is open. I'm a African. I'm a African. I'm a African. I'm a. Let's get
And
back
that
to
motive
the
is best developed by recognizing the common enemy.